Hi, I'm Tati. Let's read Six of Crows. So this is going to be Six of Crows chapter by chapter. Now the last chapter by chapter video I did turned out to be really long, even though the book was very short. So this time I'm going to be breaking up this video or this experience into a series of videos. So there are 6 parts of this story, like part 1, yeah, you know what I mean. And so I'm thinking maybe a video per part because I think there are at least a couple chapters in each part, but we'll see how it goes as I'm reading. So let's start reading this book. I'm really excited to read Six of Crows. If you don't know, I actually don't really know what this is about. I know that it's been really hyped on BookTube in the past and I just never got around to it. It is sort of in the same world as the Grisha trilogy, but I don't think it's like a direct sequel or a prequel, maybe. It doesn't have the same characters as the Grisha trilogy, I don't think. It might, I don't know. I heard you don't have to have read one to read the other. I have read the original trilogy, but not for a very long time, and I don't remember most of it. So if that is important to this, we'll find out while I'm reading. I've heard it's not. So I've also heard that people much prefer this duology to that trilogy. So I'm going to read this and hopefully love it. I have kind of high expectations because everybody loves it, but it's also a fantasy, which is not my favorite thing. So I'm kind of balanced out in my expectations. But let's start reading. Part 1, Shadow Business. So I realized I didn't do a very good job of explaining what this video is or introducing this video, I don't think. So I'm going to be reading this book, and after every chapter I'm going to let you know my thoughts on it. It's basically as close to a kind of reaction video I can get with books instead of like watching a show or a movie. So that's what I'm trying to accomplish here. And I should have also mentioned that there will be spoilers because I'm talking about each chapter after I read it. If you haven't read the book I'm reading, you might not want to watch this video if you don't want to be spoiled. If you don't care about spoilers, have fun. So, the end of chapter 1. Stuff is happening already. You get a little bit of a backstory, a little bit of a reminder of how the Grisha universe works, the magic system, the indentured servants, the healing capabilities, and each, I believe the names of the chapters so far, because I can see the name of chapter 2 and the name of chapter 1 was the name of the character that we were following around in chapter 1. So I'm guessing that the perspective changes, because I've heard this book has a lot of different characters. So I'm guessing, like, even though it's third person, the perspective is changing, which I am a big fan of. So we'll see. Usually I'm a big fan of it. Hopefully this book will also be the case with that. So far, what feels like our 2 main characters are Anya and Jost. But with what's happening in the scene, I don't know if we're going to see them again. I hope so. It leaves off on kind of a cliffhanger. But we'll see, because like I've seen things online about the series and I don't remember their names being part of it. But we'll see. I'm on to chapter 2, Inej. So that's chapter 2 done, right? Only 2 chapters. So much is happening already, and it's just been 2 chapters, this much of the book. And the next chapter is Kaz's chapter, because his name is on the chapter title. But we learn a lot about Kaz in this one chapter. It's definitely exciting. A lot going down. They keep mentioning this assassination that happened, and I don't know how much of a part that's going to play in this story. I actually don't know what the story is about yet. There's a lot of crime happening so far, or crime being mentioned happening, and this whole little parlay that was not a parlay, but our characters won. So yeah, I'm assuming our characters are Inej and Kaz at the moment. And so they're alive so far, so I'm assuming that's a win. And I really don't know much about the story yet. There's a lot of names of people and places, and it's a bit much for me. I need to get more into the story before I can start enjoying it. But I did enjoy some of the lines in here. He's a bit savage, but I don't mind it so far. So let's go into chapter 3, because I'm actually really excited to read from his perspective and just see what is going to happen next. I want the story to really get going, which isn't boring because stuff is like exciting stuff keeps happening. It's not boring yet, but I want to get to like the story of this book, and I don't think that was it. Okay, so chapter 3 has been read and we have a mission. It's such an interesting... Okay, let me start with Kaz and Inej. Their like dialogue with each other was very interesting. And it's so interesting to have like a heist group trying to pull off like a rescue mission. They're basically heisting a person. It's gonna be, I have a feeling it's gonna be really good. I'm now into the story because we have our mission for the book. I thought it was gonna take me longer to get into it, but I have like my characters that I'm interested in and a mission that I'm interested in, and I'm only on page 58. Also, we found out what happened to the people from the first chapter. They're both dead, which I was actually not expecting. I don't know why, but yeah, but I wasn't that attached to them, but I thought the girl was gonna come back into play, but she is also dead, so no, she won't be. And also, the way they're talking about this drug, I feel like somebody on their crew is gonna have to take it, and it's gonna be bad. But I don't know if any of them are Grisha, and it's only for Grisha, because if normal people take it, they die. And also, it's gonna kill the Grisha too eventually, I think. Grisha? I keep saying Grisha, but I think it's Grisha. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see on that, if there's Grisha on their crew or not. But I am going into chapter 4, which is again Inej. Maybe it just switches between Kaz and Inej. Maybe those are our two main characters. I don't know. Chapter 4. I think there are 6 chapters in part 1. Yeah, that's where part 2 is. So this much more to go. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's do this. So, chapter 4. I love how we're getting like little tiny pieces of backstory at a time. I mean, I kind of hate it because I want to know all the backstory, but I kind of love it because I love angst and it's creating angst. So I'm really liking that. I also feel like we learn more about Kaz and Inej's chapters and more about Inej and Kaz's chapters. I don't know if that's going to keep going on, but I don't mind it. Their little conversation at the end of this chapter, so good. I love it a lot. I think that's one of the big draws of this duology / series is the characters. And so far I am liking our characters. So that's good. The plot is also very interesting. Don't know what's going to happen. I want to know all the backstory so much. On to chapter 5. So, first things first. What was his name? Jordy. I'm thinking Jordy was Kaz's brother and something happened to him because of Pekka Rollins. That's why he wants revenge. That's my best guess at that situation. We'll have to see what comes of it. However, we have a new character, Nina, who is a Grisha. And she's joining their team. And also they talked about breaking somebody else out of prison. Or rescuing him from prison or something. which is Matthias. So I'm guessing both of them are going to join the crew, but I talked about them having a Grisha on the team, and now they do. And I'm worried that she is going to have to take this drug eventually. Really hope not. But I also love her character too. What I know of her so far, which is like 4 or 5 pages, but really good. And now we're moving on to chapter 6, which is Nina's perspective. So that's going to be interesting. So, I have finished chapter 6. And what a cliffhanger it leaves off on. But that does mean that I finished part 1. So next up will be part 2 next time. However, I need to know the backstory between Nina and Matthias. I want to know it so bad. I'm totally sucked into the story now, and I will be continuing very soon. But that's it for this video. If you liked this video, please give it a like. Let me know in the comments if you like this book, what you thought of my thoughts of the part 1. Part 1 is really good. So far I'm liking it. I am definitely sucked into the story now. I'm thinking our characters are Inej, Nina, Kaz, Matthias, because they went and got him out for some reason. And those are the main characters in my mind right now. You can let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Don't spoil me though. Okay? Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be finished with the whole book by the time this video is out. I don't know. Don't leave spoilers that are not in part 1 in the comments, please. But do let me know your favorite character from part 1. I have new videos every Tuesday and Friday, and I should have the next installment of this series coming out next week. So subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thanks for watching. Bye. I hope that worked. I'm gonna need a thumbnail of some kind. I'm so excited to keep reading, I don't want to stop. So before I start this, I just want to mention I'm trying a little bit of a different setup. I opened my window and I let some natural light in, and I tried to set up the camera and myself in such a way that I get the most possible light from the window, and also still with my bookshelves in the back, because my window's over there and the bookshelves are this way, so it'd be great if the window was over there, but I can't move the window. So I'm hoping as the sun goes away to be able to just use natural light for this video and see how it looks, and not have to use my big lights, just because this video I think is going to take me a while. And I also just want to experiment, so if the lighting in this is not great, let me know in the comments and I won't do it anymore. But I believe there's 4 parts. Does this have a table of contents? No books have a table of contents anymore. It has beautiful maps. It's such a pretty book. Oh my gosh. All the maps, and then just these pages, and the fact that the edges are painted or sprayed. I'm not in focus at all. Alright. I hope I get into focus. I mean, I'm right here. I'm on autofocus. Maybe. Alright, that's gonna be good enough. Bye.